Socrates' Mind, an inspiring figure in practical philosophy, teaches that happiness is not the absence of difficulties, but the ability to transform them into opportunities. Life, by its nature, is filled with obstacles, grief, professional failures, relational tensions. Yet, it is in these moments that we can cultivate deep resilience. Accepting that suffering is part of existence is the first step towards lasting happiness. This does not mean ignoring pain, but recognizing it without allowing it to define our mindset. Socrates' Mind emphasizes the idea that every trial is a disguised lesson. For example, losing a job can open the door to a new vocation, or a breakup can reveal unsuspected inner strengths. To practice this, start by identifying a current challenge. Write it down in a journal and ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this situation? This simple exercise refocuses your mind on growth rather than complaint. Next, set a small daily goal related to this challenge, such as learning a new skill or strengthening a relationship. Socrates' Mind highlights that happiness arises from intentional action, not from the passive waiting for external change. Train yourself to see obstacles as stepping stones. An argument can improve communication, and illness can push you to take better care of yourself. This perspective requires conscious effort, especially when life seems unfair. Yet, it is in this effort that happiness takes root. Every morning, choose a positive affirmation, such as, "Today, I transform my challenges into opportunities." Repeat it to anchor this mindset. Socrate Mind teaches that gratitude is the key to finding happiness, even when life is tough. Difficulties, whether financial stress, health issues, or loneliness, can cloud our vision, making us forget what is going well. Yet, by focusing on what we have, we change our perspective. Gratitude is not a spontaneous emotion, it is a practice. Start each day by noting 3 things you are grateful for, even if they seem insignificant: a hot coffee, a smile from a stranger, or simply being alive. Socrate Mind emphasizes the power of these small moments to refocus the mind. For example, during a period of unemployment, noting, "I have time to learn something new," can transform anxiety into hope. This practice does not deny problems, but it balances our attention, preventing us from sinking into despair. Studies show that regular gratitude reduces stress and improves mental well-being. Socrate Mind suggests keeping a gratitude journal, where you write down each evening what made you happy, even slightly. Over time, this habit reconfigures your brain to spot the positive. If life is particularly hard, these often overlooked details are anchors in the storm. Another strategy is to express your gratitude to others. Socrate Mind shares the story of a man who, in the face of a serious illness, found comfort by thanking his nurse every day, which transformed his hospital experience. Finally, practice self-gratitude. Acknowledge your own efforts, even modest ones, like overcoming a bad day. Socrate Mind asserts that our thoughts shape our happiness more than our circumstances. Life's trials, debts, conflicts, uncertainties amplify negative thoughts, which can spiral into destructive patterns. Mastering these thoughts is essential for staying happy. The first step is awareness. Identify the automatic thoughts that arise in response to stress, such as, "I'm not good enough," or "everything is going wrong." Socrate Mind suggests writing them down for objective examination. For example, if you think, "I'll never make it," ask yourself, "What evidence do I have for this?" Often, these thoughts are distortions, exaggerating reality. An effective technique is cognitive reframing. Replace a negative thought with a balanced version. For instance, transform "I'm a failure" into "I failed this time, but I can learn and try again." This approach, validated by psychology, reduces anxiety and strengthens resilience. Socrate Mind also emphasizes mindfulness meditation. Take 5 minutes each day to observe your thoughts without judgment, like clouds passing in the sky. This creates distance between you and your ruminations, giving you the power to choose which ones to nurture. Another strategy is to limit exposure to negativity triggers, such as social media or toxic conversations. Socrate Mind shares the story of a woman who, after a painful breakup, stopped checking her ex's posts, thus regaining her inner peace. Surround yourself with uplifting people and consume inspiring content like books or podcasts. According to Socrate Mind, happiness does not come from waiting for circumstances to improve, but from acting deliberately, even in the face of challenges. Difficulties, job loss, family issues, fragile health can be paralyzing, but intentional action restores power. Start by defining a clear goal, even a modest one, each day. For example, if you're overwhelmed by financial stress, set yourself the task of creating a budget or seeking a small source of income. Socrate Mind emphasizes action, even minimal, breaks the chain of helplessness. This philosophy is based on the idea that movement creates momentum. A small victory, like tidying up a room or writing a difficult email, can transform your mindset. To act with intention, plan your day the night before. List 3 priority tasks that align with your values or long-term needs, such as spending time with a loved one or learning a skill. This structure, advocated by Socrate Mind, provides a sense of control, even amidst chaos. Avoid procrastination, which fuels unhappiness. If a task seems overwhelming, break it down into tiny steps. Instead of writing a resume, start with listing my skills. Every step counts. Socrate Mind tells the story of a man who, after a divorce, found joy by committing to a daily walk, a simple act that restored his confidence. Surround yourself with reminders of your intentions, a note on your desk, an alarm on your phone. These anchors keep your focus, even on days when motivation wanes. Socrate Mind teaches that happiness, even in difficult times, arises from the ability to find meaning in pain. Trials, illness, loss, failure often seem absurd, but they can become catalysts for growth. For Socrate Mind, the key question is, how can this suffering make me stronger or wiser? For example, betrayal can teach the value of authentic relationships, or a financial crisis can reveal forgotten priorities. This quest for meaning does not minimize the pain, but makes it bearable. Start by reflecting on a past trial. What have you learned about yourself or about life? Write down these lessons to anchor their value. Socrate Mind proposes an exercise. Each evening, write about how a difficulty of the day has pushed you to grow, even slightly. Perhaps a conflict at work has improved your patience, or a setback has taught you to plan better. This process transforms pain into fuel for happiness. Another approach is to connect your suffering to a greater purpose. Socrate Mind shares the story of a woman who, after losing a loved one, became involved in a charity, finding comfort in helping others. By giving meaning to her pain, she rediscovered joy. Spirituality or philosophy can also offer meaning. Finally, accept that some pains remain inexplicable. By finding meaning in pain, you transform the hardest moments into opportunities. Socrate Mind emphasizes that happiness, even in difficult times, depends on the relationships we cultivate. Trials, solitude, conflicts, stress can isolate us, but positive connections are a source of strength. Toxic relationships, on the other hand, drain our energy and cloud our joy. Start by evaluating your surroundings. Who uplifts you? Who exhausts you? Socrate Mind proposes a simple exercise. List 5 people you often interact with and note how you feel after spending time with them. If someone leaves you drained, limit interactions or set clear boundaries. For example, if a colleague constantly criticizes, reduce non-work-related discussions. Conversely, seek out people who inspire, listen, or share your values. Spend more time with them, even virtually through a call or message. Socrate Mind shares the story of a man who, after a period of depression, found joy by joining a book club where he felt understood. These connections, even modest ones, remind you that you're not alone. Invest in reciprocal relationships. Offer your support as much as you receive it. A simple, sincere, "How are you?" can strengthen a bond. Socrate Mind also stresses quality over quantity. 1 or 2 authentic friends are worth more than a crowd of superficial ones. If you're going through a trial, share your feelings with someone you trust. Expressing your pain lightens its weight. For instance, talking about a loss with a friend can transform grief into a moment of connection. Socrate Mind teaches that happiness, especially in the face of challenges, comes from simplifying life. Complications, overloaded schedules, unnecessary possessions, excessive commitments, amplify stress and stifle joy. Simplifying is about making space for what truly matters. Start by evaluating your priorities. What brings you meaning or happiness? Family, a passion, rest? Identify what clutters your life, such as non-essential tasks or draining relationships. Socrate Mind suggests saying no more often, kindly but firmly, to protect your energy. For instance, declining an invitation to an unimportant event can free up time for reading or being with loved ones. Physically, declutter your space. Sort through your closets. Donate what you no longer use. A clear environment calms the mind. Socrate Mind shares the story of a woman who, after a period of burnout, cleared her desk of old papers, regaining mental clarity. Simplify your schedule as well. Reduce unnecessary meetings, group tasks, and reserve time for yourself. An hour a week for an activity you love, writing, walking, meditating, can recharge your happiness. Mentally, limit digital distractions. Socrate Mind advises setting phone or social media free time slots, such as 1 evening a week. Financially, simplify by cutting unnecessary expenses. Create a budget focused on essentials: food, housing, health. Socrate Mind teaches that happiness, especially in difficult times, requires patience with oneself. Trials, failures, grief, or chronic stress can push us to judge ourselves harshly, thinking we should overcome faster or be stronger. Yet, patience is a key to cultivating lasting joy. Start by accepting that healing or progressing takes time. Socrate Mind tells the story of a man who, after a professional failure, felt useless but found peace by allowing himself to move forward slowly. Each day, acknowledge your efforts, however small, like getting up despite exhaustion or completing a minor task. This self-compassion strengthens resilience. A simple practice is to keep a progress journal. Note one thing you did, even trivial, like replying to an email or smiling at a stranger. This reminds you that you are moving forward, even in small steps. Socrate Mind insists happiness is not a race, but a journey. Avoid comparing yourself to others, especially on social media, where lives seem perfect. If you're going through a crisis, remember that everyone has their invisible struggles. An effective technique is self-compassion meditation. Take 5 minutes, close your eyes, and repeat, "I am doing my best, and that is enough." This soothes the inner critic. Socrate Mind also suggests celebrating small victories. For example, if you struggle with anxiety, congratulate yourself for facing a stressful situation, even imperfectly. This recognition boosts self-esteem, essential for happiness. Socrate Mind teaches that happiness, even in the face of trials, can be nurtured by daily rituals that bring joy. Challenges, stress, sorrow, uncertainty can erode our energy, but intentional routines act as beacons in the storm. A joy ritual is a simple, regular action that reconnects you to what feels good. Start by identifying what makes you happy, even briefly, listening to music, writing, gardening. Socrate Mind suggests dedicating 10 to 15 minutes a day to an activity you love, scheduled as a non-negotiable appointment. For example, a woman going through a period of mourning found comfort in reading a poem every morning. This small, repeated act rekindled her inner light. Create a morning ritual to set the tone for the day. Meditate, write 3 gratitudes, or enjoy coffee in silence. Socrate Mind emphasizes rituals are anchors for the soul. In the evening, a ritual can positively close the day, such as noting a moment of joy or listening to a soothing song. These habits, even simple ones, build a sense of stability. Vary your rituals to avoid monotony. 1 week, walk in a park. Another, try a hobby like painting or cooking. If life is particularly tough, choose accessible rituals. Socrate Mind shares the story of a man who, unemployed, would sit outside every day to watch the sky, finding a sense of peace. Joy rituals do not require money or time. A smile at your reflection, a deep breath, or a moment of gratitude are enough. Involve your loved ones to strengthen bonds. A weekly dinner, a walk with a friend. Socrates' Mind concludes that happiness, even in the toughest moments, is a quest that requires perseverance. Trials, illnesses, losses, failures may seem insurmountable, but the choice to seek joy each day is an act of courage. To persevere is to refuse to let circumstances define your state of mind. Start by committing to find a moment of happiness, however small, each day. Socrates' Mind tells the story of a man who, after an accident, decided to smile at one person daily, transforming his pain into human connection. This commitment, even modest, creates momentum. Set long-term goals to guide your path. Learn a skill, strengthen a relationship, or improve your health. These goals give meaning to your perseverance. Socrates' Mind suggests breaking these goals into steps. If you aim for better fitness, start by walking 10 minutes a day. Each step strengthens your determination. Accept setbacks as part of the journey. On days when happiness seems out of reach, remember that persevering does not mean being perfect, but continuing. One technique is to keep a perseverance journal. Note each evening an action, however small, that brought you closer to joy, like calling a friend or finishing a task. Socrates' Mind insists happiness is a muscle, it needs training. Surround yourself with visual reminders of your commitment, an inspiring quote on your desk, a photo of a happy moment. These anchors refocus you during moments of doubt.